What's going on, party people? It's Cam from Two Ninja Kickback here with my man Tone. And today we're going to discuss a little bit about, the racism and shit you see in gaming and stuff like that. I was talking to Tone off mic about how Call of Duty is kind of taking an initiative to step up and try to combat the racism and stuff that we see as gamers and stuff like that. I know me and Tone could probably tell you guys a fuck ton of horror stories about what it's like being a black gamer getting on like certain video games and shit like that. Just plug it in your mic. I know we got a few episodes out where we're just ragging on about like how it was adjusting and coming into that level of competition and just shit talking and stuff like that. And sometimes like these dudes were just flat out racist, and it's just like, damn, I don't want to kind of hear this when I'm trying to, like, the video game is already an escape from the reality I'm facing outside. So I'm coming in here and now I'm getting it on here too. So Call of Duty put out a statement and they said, there's no room for that here, and they're trying to crack down on that whole thing. So Tone, how do you feel about that? Like, I just wanted to get your take on that. I
feel as though it's not even a little, it's 10 years too late. You feel me? Call of Duty could have been did this shit. You really could. You feel me? Just based off the numbers of the African community that actually play Call of Duty, it's quite a large sum of us. You feel me?
I think what we're seeing is like the merger of like hip hop and gaming coming so closely. Like, the shows like this are starting to exist where we do hip hop and gaming, but you see a lot of big name celebrities and stars who are also African American, black, playing video games and bringing the streamers in and stuff like that. And on the other side of that coin, that it is a rich history of racism on video games. It's a meme
for sure.
Like, it's a whole meme about getting on Xbox and being called a nigger and shit like that. That's no accident. It's a thing amongst the community. I honestly didn't think you were going to say 10 years too late, so you kind of surprised me with that take, and it kind of just took my mind in a total different direction, honestly, and that's why I like talking to you, because I didn't even think about it. I was like, damn, that's big of Call of Duty for, like, kind of, stepping into that and finally addressing it, like, finally.
But I don't know, but like in a way, I am kind of appreciative to it. But at the same token, it's just I have my skepticisms at hand, because right now
everything,
in this climate
it's a hot
in,
topic and everything.
Exactly, and not only that, we're seeing a lot of people that's trying to piggyback off this shit and just try to ride the wave.
Yeah,
the thing of it is.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, now you good. But like, Call of Duty's not the only one that I'm taking off my book too. It's just like, as far as like every other game company, developers and studios, you really want to impact black people, put certain black people inside these damn offices. You feel me? Actually, employ more black creators and shit like that inside some of these fucking games. Like, gaming's been around for about like 35, going on to 40 fucking years now, and it's crazy how
it's set in the living rooms of many people, and it's brought a lot of people together. Like,
and it's still sad how we cannot get the correct narratives for certain African American characters inside video games as well.
It's because we have no say in a lot of that stuff. Like, I remember reading an article about how Rockstar allegedly had sat down with a bunch of gangbangers and they had them reading audio scripts and all this other stuff. I'm like, damn, that's big.
Yeah, and the gangbangers was like, yo, this shit weak as shit.
Hey, man, I'm like, nobody talks like this. Like, yeah, I remember walking around like, nobody, who the fuck who? I'm like, nobody talks like this. But it was like, I thought they were like, and I probably do need to do some more research on it. But like, I remember just playing a video game. But I remember reading that article in specific because, at the time I was doing a lot of GTA research. And it was just like, yo, that's dope that they going into LA and they really providing these brothers with criminal history and stuff like that, opportunity and stuff like that. And it was just like, then when I played the game, I was like, is this really... You know what I mean? Is this real? Did they really do that, or was it just a little
nigga and the nigga just say, "I hope your pocket's deep"? Like, what the fuck, yo? Like, what type of shit is that?
Never heard nothing like that in my life. Trust me, I've been in the hood long enough. But like, sometimes it's just, I don't know, man. Like, even when like I'll take a website or big company like MLG Game Battles. Like, you remember we used to compete on that all the time,
What?
And you know exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're
going. We won't
to.
name names, but we were in a pretty big tournament. We had physical video proof evidence that the other team were cheating, and literally one of our teammates got called the N-word or nigger by one of the officials on the MLG stuff. So it's like, what the fuck? Like, how do you combat with that? Like, what do you do to that? Like, how do you re-affect that? Like, how do you get that time back? How do you get a lot of I remember talking to you about it. It was like, damn, like that kind of was like the fallout of our whole MLG thing. After that, we didn't really play MLG anymore. It was just like, oh, well, fuck it. We damned if we do, damned if we don't. I remember how excited we were because we was like, yo, we gonna get this easy ass win. It's black and white. We read the rules. We went through everything. Literally had video proof, all of it. And for him to just come in there and just we trying to plead our case and him lead with that, it was like, damn, wow. And oddly enough, the whole thing took place on Call of Duty. So like that is big of them to come and try to do that. But like, yeah, your sentiment about it being 10 years too late is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, because when you look at it, like you have some of the most elite players on the face of this earth that are black in any type of gaming community. You feel me? And the only gaming community that I see on the MLG circuit that actually respect black players. I hate to keep throwing it to the FGC community, but that's the only time I actually see niggas shine, and it's because like they actually take the time out with the character designs of certain black characters. But not only that, the community itself is just it can be toxic at times, but it's also respect. Like respect takes you a long way.
And we're not saying like we want listeners to think that we're like by any means, there are really great black streamers that are on that tier. It's just like it's not a whole lot of us for as many of us play the game. Like if you go into an inner city school, and that touches on our afterthoughts that we dropped, I think last week or the coming week. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody in that school played games. Like that was a transition thing. You can go to another school and all the kids there played video games. It was just a common thing amongst everybody. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, so
I wonder if they're going to promote black MLG teams for like shooters like Rainbow Six and Call of Duty. Since all this shit is going on, I really want to see like the MLG circuit actually take a part of this shit.
I want to see everybody take a step up and stuff like that and shine a little light. But like, it's weird because like streaming and super heavy video games and stuff like that, it's not really prominent in our culture. Well, it is prominent in our culture, but it's not fully displayed to the extent it is in nerdy culture. You know what I mean?
We don't have a presence.
There you go.
We don't have
but
a heavy
even
presence.
though we are there, you know what I mean? Like in
I say
inside
we
of the
influence
culture.
a lot of shit.
Yeah.
For sure, we definitely influence a lot of shit inside the gaming culture, for sure.
But it's like, how do you navigate that? You know what I mean? Like how do you give due to certain things and stuff? Like, okay, who's responsible for this? Who's responsible for that? If it's all of that culture, you know what I mean? Like you could walk up to anybody at a certain time period, I think when we were kids, and just talk to them about any video game, like no matter who they were. And y'all could just bond right there with the video game. It's a lot of like kids, boys. We were all in the playground talking about the dope game that came out.
Well, like when certain games take like an immediate, drastic, like change, and it can just be something light as the character model, like San Andreas, for instance. You feel me?
Okay, yeah. Like, where you going?
Look at how big San Andreas was and the representation for the African American community at that time. You feel me? We went from the typical Italians and white boys from GTA to basically a nigga from Compton and Watts. You feel me?
And it was. I won't lie, it was so cool playing with CJ too. Like, not gonna lie, like seeing somebody that looked like me in the neighborhoods I grew up in and shit. Yeah, that shit it did something. It did something.
And not only that, I felt as though like a lot of white people that actually played GTA San Andreas actually had some respect for the community and culture at that time. You feel me? Like you can kind of see it when like certain white boys do approach a nigga when we talking about games and shit, and a nigga do mention GTA and shit, and then as soon as the first thing the white boy would say is San Andreas, you kind of know like, all right, this nigga might be cool. You feel me?
Yeah, but like I think like just at the time, like it was just an amazing game, and it was just like one of like 10 out of 10 everything. The story was amazing.
Yeah, it was PlayStation's highest selling game.
Yeah, so it's like, how could you not fuck with it? But the thing of it was, like, can you imagine being a fucking racist gamer and had to play a CJ and stuff like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, eat this bitch. And then it's like, now that's your favorite one? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Just
it
like,
kind of, it shapes the mold. Like,
there you go.
That's the beauty about, like, video games captivating the young at such an early age, for real. Because, like, when you look at certain characters, you don't see race. You feel me? You just see, is this nigga nice? Can this nigga work? For real, you feel me? Like, it's kind of weird in a way. Like,
I don't know. Me typically, like I used to always try to play with the black dude for a little while, like, but it was like sometimes the other characters had just the better abilities. You get what I'm saying? Like a
Yeah,
lot of times the black dude might be the brute on the team. I don't necessarily want to be the brute or the warrior or whatever the fuck. I'm just trying to, I want to be a magician or some
I
shit.
just want to finesse a nigga.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But like, yeah, I mean, but going back to the San Andreas conversation, like, but to have a gaming figure be so prominent and so black and so in the hood and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, it was a real story being told, and not only did it just do that, it also directed a lot of people's attention at a lot of cultural phenomenon, favorite black movies that they pull from a lot of. You know what I mean?
Of
Like,
course.
people watching, it's like,
I
oh
am
damn, this is Boys in the Hood. This is like, you know what
the
I mean?
societal aspect of GTA San Andreas was kind of crazy too, because when you look at it, like it kind of brought people eyes to the crack epidemic.
Uh
It
huh.
showed how niggas was getting the crack from the police and everything like that, and how the police had an involvement in all the other crazy shit. Like it shows a lot. Like especially from nowadays, it's kind of crazy we touching on GTA San Andreas just randomly, because like you can experience the police brutality, the cultural bias, the colorism, all types of shit in San
Oh my
Andreas. Like
God, that's
like,
nuts. I
can
never
can you
realized that.
imagine?
Yo,
Can you
like I'm
remember
I'm
going
literally
to
thinking
like
about it.
Blaine
Like,
County
but
in
not
San
only that,
Andreas,
bro. Not
and when
only
a
that,
redneck punches you in front of the police won't do shit to you.
but
But if you go to like Los Santos and a Mexican punches you in the face, the police will be all over the Mexican and your ass.
yeah.
It's crazy.
But not only deeper than that, like realize that the whole story behind CJ thing was operated and enforced by the police. Officer
Yeah,
Tenpenny,
it was all yeah. The
another black
feds,
man.
the
Yeah.
feds was watching him too. He had shadow operators watching him. They
All
made him a
types of
freelance
corruption,
operative.
everything. That is
Yeah.
wild that niggas would touch on some shit like that. But it was just like I remember I literally remember like I didn't even see anything about San Andreas oddly enough. Like I
Mm.
like it just kind of fell into my lap. Like I didn't really have the internet I think at the time, and I like didn't have access. You know what I mean? So it was like
Mm-hmm.
I remember like my cousin literally came over my house and he had GTA 3. This was my first introduction to Grand Theft Auto ever. He came
Mm-hmm.
over and he was like, "Yo, I got this Grand Theft Auto. You want to play it?" And I was like, "Grand Theft Auto from like the PlayStation? Like that game sucks." Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't like Grand Theft Auto when I first played it with the
The
top down
overhead
bird
top
top. Yeah,
down.
it was not for me,
Yeah.
yo. It was not for me. And he put it in, and I was like, "This might be the greatest thing I've ever played in my life." And then like I remember like him like me going over his house a couple months later and he had Vice City. I'm like, what the fuck? They made another one? And he was like, yeah, this one is
Mm-hmm.
even better. It has bikes and da-da-da. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yo. So at that moment, I had completely fell in love with GTA. And I remember going to school and like, oh, have you played San Andreas? Have you played San Andreas? Oh, CJ's the dope. And I'm like, yo, who? Like they got a new character. And I remember seeing this. I'm like, yo. They going with the whole Boys in the Hood story. Oddly enough, my favorite movie. I'm like, yo, I
Mm-hmm.
have to get this game. Like, I have to get this game. And it was just a pivotal moment, just seeing that case and seeing that cover, the NWA theme and everything. I'm like, yo, this shit is crazy hard, yo. And I was like, I remember what I did to get it, yo. I fucking went to Blockbuster with my cousin. We rented it, and I just never took it back.
Hey, fuck it. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. If
For
anybody
sure,
from
you gotta do
Blockbuster
what you
listening,
gotta
allegedly.
do. They probably lost stocks of sales because of your ass.
Nah, everybody was doing it at the time. My cousin put
Oh
me
yeah,
up
for sure.
on it.
Niggas, I was too. Oh yeah.
Oh man, good old Blockbuster. But yeah, bro,
Especially
that's crazy that people would and like what's crazy about GTA now? Like it kinda like tells is kinda telling on which character you prefer sometimes on GTA, the new one.
mm-hmm.
Like who do you spend most time operating as?
To be honest, Trevor.
See, you're a free person, but a lot of like racist people, they don't like playing with Franklin.
True. That is true.
They
For me
prefer Trevor.
personally, I like Franklin. Don't get me wrong for real, but I just felt as though like Franklin he as like a character for GTA, I
He
felt
didn't
as though
live
he
up
was too
to
dry.
CJ's hype. I
It,
appreciated
not
Franklin
even
though, yo.
CJ. Yeah, I appreciate him as his
Because
own
look, he
character.
did
Don't get me
he was a
wrong.
loyal person, or I depending on how you did your
hmm
story. He was super loyal and just wanted better for himself and just kept staying motivated. He
hmm
didn't have any laying, what I mean, underlining things. He was trying to get his lady back, like, you know what I mean? He was in the streets, but he was still a level-headed individual trying to rise up. So like they didn't paint a whole nother narrative on him. Because you think about it, like Rockstar did get some backlash for telling the story about the gang banging and all that other stuff. Don't forget that. Like it was for them dropping San Andreas, they got flack for that shit too. But I don't know. Like I didn't mind his story and stuff like that. Like you really had a problem with him? Yo.
My fault. I had a little audio issue, but yeah, yo, I definitely feel where you coming from. Like, but let me ask you a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as far as like the representation of blacks and since we on the whole GTA segment and shit, like, as far as like 8 Ball and shit like that, like just to actually see the respect of the characters actually like fall down the line on that. You feel me? How did you
Mm-hmm.
feel on that?
I liked 8 Ball. I didn't think he was too bad. I didn't really like Lance.
Yeah, I
Uh,
ain't really care for Lance. I fucks with the Haitians though. Like the Haitians in Vice City is what made it for me though.
yeah, I'm sure
Like
you
once you
had
actually
your.
got the experience,
Uh huh.
yeah. Well, you know me
Yeah, yeah,
personally, but like
yeah. So yeah, I know
yeah,
that
but
was a whole
like
different moment for you.
mhm.
And then that '80s, man, that like vibe on that game. I'm like, boy, I remember GTA. GTA low key, Vice City is low key one of my top favorite GTA's. I'm not gonna lie, it's right there with San Andreas. But nah, like I do like how the companies are trying to step up. I know Sony just recently talked about pushing back their event to
Mm-mm.
give bigger voices a whole voice, but I'm on the fence about that. That just didn't seem it didn't seem too genuine for me because I know like Sony has been having a lot of troubles with their stuff. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? And then that culture is synonymous with, you know what I mean, being racist towards black folks and stuff like that.
Hmm. I
So
mean, in a way, you just got to probably just watch how companies move,
yeah,
like in the totality of things. Like,
a lot of shit, yo. Like, don't just
hmm
attach yourself because the shit been going on, like you said. Like the same thing with for for Call of Duty. Like, yeah, this shit been going on 10 years plus or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I understand. Like, it's getting to a swell now, but it was always this. You should have always been in solidarity with what's right, right?
hmm or at least bring attention to. But like I said, yo, like I don't even know if we touched on this on afterthoughts or just you feel me off like conversation for real. It's just like it's cool to shit on not even shit, but like I wouldn't even say it's cool, but like the world just itself just really just pans a blind eye against people of color. You feel me?
Yeah.
Across the board. You feel me? I can't even just say black people, like just people of color across the board. Because when you look at like,
I was just literally thinking that. Like, I remember when it was a attack on terrorists or whatever, and like all the
hmm
Arab dudes, all the Arabic people were getting the
hmm
shit into this stick.
you feel me? It was times when like I ain't gonna lie, I had a couple Indian homies, and one homie was from like northern India, and if you know how racist India is, northern India is technically Pakistan, and like the shit the Indians would call the Pakistanis at that time was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And then just looking at the line, it was just like, oh damn, you're like, I thought y'all niggas was on the same team. You feel me? How the
Right.
fuck is you racist against a motherfucker like that and shit? Like,
That just goes
but hey,
around the
yo,
world, yo. That's just how it
yeah.
is, yo. Like, and unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, I touched on it. It was like, you know, coming into gaming and stuff like that. I can tell you the story of like I did the most to get online, and I know I said this in some episode. I'll start numbering this shit if you want to go back and listen to it. But when I finally did get my Xbox online, literally my first game of Halo 2, I plugged my mic in and I got called a nigga. Like that was my first introduction to online gameplay on the Xbox. The first words I
Uh,
heard from a person was, "Oh, you sound like a nigger." So
My first introduction to Call of Duty online.
yeah,
Nigga, we touched on this, yo. Nigga said, I didn't even say a word. I just breathed on the mic, and the nigga said, I smell me a nigga. Yo, like, shit like that, yo. Like,
and it was like they like, and I know Call of Duty was touching on it recently, where they're saying like they're gonna start banning racist gamer tags. You remember all the racist gamer tags that used to be
oh,
around and shit
nigga,
like that?
Negroes must die 2215. Niggas like that, yo. I
Yeah,
still remember that gamer tag, yo. Like, to this day, yo. Like, I remember a lot of shit, yo. Like,
yeah, yeah.
if they really meant well for real,
But
like,
you know the cool shit about it is like I feel like online gaming took off, or not. I won't say took off. I'll say casually took off because I'm sure there's niggas on PC that's been drumming on that shit and
for
Xbox that's been drumming.
years.
But 360 made it more accessible. So by them making it more accessible, like everybody was almost online on the 360 for some time period, right? So it was
Even a
like,
lot of PlayStation niggas transitioned
but
over
like that's when it
from the
like it got.
360.
I see. I already knew the whole racism scheme when I got on Halo, but But it's like, can you imagine? Like, I remember people used to flip out on the game from being like the racist taunts and stuff like that. Like, it was,
Yeah.
like, it wasn't
You'll have
all like we,
8-year-old screaming nigga like it's a machine gun,
yeah,
yo.
like a little kid. Like, bro, you're 6. You don't even realize what you're saying. Like, stop. Like, you don't
Mm-hmm.
even understand fully of the weight that word carries. And you shouldn't play with that. Like, I know it's fun and games, but that, like, you don't know how somebody's gonna react to that. So everybody's not the same person. It's not always baseball. You don't always get 3 strikes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some people go there off rip, and unfortunately, you never know. You could lose your life behind that word. Words are very powerful. So it's like, and
I'm
that
quite
word
sure it's a lot of
particularly
white
triggers
boys that
something.
damn near lost their life in the 90s. I ain't gonna lie. I remember at one point, white people was really scared of niggas.
We not gonna.
Yeah, we're not gonna touch on that, but
We
yeah,
not gonna get into
I
that.
do remember at one point.
But look, but that's that fear that carries into the over policing and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like them so quick, like motherfuckers, like, you know what I mean? Like I remember in the 90s where, like, if you see 2 black dudes walking down the street, a white person would literally cross the street and like
Yeah,
be so frantic, like, bro, niggas is just
the
walking down
fuck
the
you got
street,
to be
bro.
afraid of a nigga
Yeah,
for?
like,
Like, bro, like we minding our damn business. If anything, you should be a nigga crossing the street when you see 2 niggas on the street. You feel me? That's how I used to always carry that shit. Like, yo, y'all niggas have nothing to fear,
but
especially
it's
when going
like,
in the hood.
and it's like, I remember we were like, it was a bunch of me and my friends. We were all playing kick the can. You ever play kick the can?
Oh yeah, nigga, of course. I
So we were
learned
playing kick the
some
can.
some racist shit behind kick the
Oh,
can.
I'm sure. But we was playing kick the can. And fucking, so we all doing our thing. Some dude, some white dude just come out there and start saying, hey, you guys are messing up my car and all stuff and shit. So we looking like, huh? Like, bro, niggas ain't even nowhere near these cars. Chill. So we get back to playing. Next thing you know, it's 3 cop cars that pull up. And I kind of seen the scene, so I left and I was coming back. And when I come back, I see all of my friends sitting on the ground just lined up. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And slowly the officer like, all right, you talk, you get up, you can leave. And they unfortunately had my cousin right there. My cousin is a very dark skinned, you know what I mean, man. At the time he was a kid, but like, you know what I'm saying? So they
You can
singling
just
him
see.
out, you know what I mean? He's the wild one, you know what I mean? He's ready to go. You know what I mean? So it kind of seemed like they knew that. And they trying to antagonize him and all this other shit just to try to get a reaction out of him. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? We were just trying to play a game. like how did this go to this? From us just being outside playing a game.
My nigga, I remember just hooking school with a couple friends back in middle school and just running for the police out of our dead life. Not because we just got caught, you feel me? Because niggas actually draw weapons on a bunch of middle school kids. Like, can you imagine just being in the 7th grade for real, yo? Like,
Yeah.
just being a fresh 12 going on to 13, my nigga. And like one of the first hand experiences that you have with the police as a mid-adult or mid-teen
When
is
you really
just
start
like,
getting out there and shit.
yeah, yo, it's just like it's really just on some militarized, like just on some militarized shit. Like, it's basically
It's us against them.
whatever the type of kids through in dog for real, you feel me, with the military. We went through that shit with the police, but this has been just over 100 years, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, when
Yeah.
you look at how fucked up police actually treat like niggas down south, even still to this day
I
down
know that
south,
was a
if you get
scary time
arrested,
back in
you
the
are
day.
still a slave of the state, my nigga.
But if you
You
like,
feel me?
I know down there, you get arrested, you get took in that car or some shit, man. I know you just happy to make it back
Your
home,
ass is
yo.
on that chain gang, yo.
I know they done lost so
If
many
you ain't
people.
thinking about escaping, oh my god, what, yo? It's still niggas, like niggas granddaddies, my nigga. That's still in jail for like a 5-year offense. They just never got their court date, yo. It's shit like that, my nigga. Like,
That's just so listeners can just understand the severity of the shit sometimes, yo. So if you are a gamer and shit like that, and you know what niggas is talking about, I'm sure if you are
yeah,
black, then you've definitely
you
experienced that.
definitely know.
There's no question about it. Like every black gamer I've talked to, every single one has experienced that on video games. So we got to cut that trend down a little bit.
But to be honest, though, yo,
It doesn't really have to
the
cut
worst
down.
thing, the
I
worst
wish
thing
it
a
could be,
motherfucker could say to me nowadays, if it's nigga, yo, like
yeah, like
that shit
yeah.
really doesn't. It doesn't
it don't
bother me,
phase me at all. But it's
but let
like
that
I know
shit
it's
be in
other
my face.
generations.
You feel me?
Yeah,
It's
there
just
you
going to be a
go.
different story.
That's where
But
it's like,
far as like I'm gonna put white people on some game real quick, yo. If you really gonna say some racist shit on this Xbox or PlayStation or PC shit or this gaming shit platform, yo, make that shit funny. Make that shit funny. Make that shit stomachable. You feel me? To the point like a motherfucker can actually come out with some shit. Don't
what?
just come out and just say some jigaboo shit. You feel
Yeah,
me?
like,
Like
cause y'all niggas don't be
actually,
creative. Say something that's gonna be
like right.
polarizing. Like, well, damn, I never thought
Like the
about it
worst
that
you
way.
got is nigga. Like I ain't gonna lie, nigga called me moon cricket and had me stuck.
Like, you never
You
heard
feel
nothing
me?
like that. I remember my
You
first
feel
time
me?
a
I didn't
motherfucker
even
said
get
a
mad.
porch
I
monkey.
really had to sit down and think like, what the fuck is
I
a
was like,
moon cricket?
I was like, what the fuck is a porch monkey?
Yeah. Oh, porch monkey. I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of funny. But then again, porch monkey actually applies to white people too.
Yeah, like, and that's
It's just
like,
a lazy motherfucker. And how I actually view white people, I don't want to touch on my whole tap shit. Yeah, that's for another day.
but yeah, no, keeping it gaming and shit.
Yeah, just keeping it gaming for real. It's
Yeah,
just like, yo,
motherfuckers
like,
like they get so aggressive and shit. Like, what you gonna do? Punch me through the microphone? Stop it! Like, stop it! Like,
please.
so like, I don't know. Like, I caution a lot of younger gamers, like I said, that's getting into it. To like, kind of like, you gotta build that tough skin because I'm sure it can be kind of hard. Like, if you're around
Hmm.
nothing but your kind of people and like people are telling you, nah, white people be racist sometimes and all this other shit, and you don't really understand. Then you get on this game and you getting called a nigga by a fucking 40-year-old grown ass man who, you know what I mean? Like, he's like, what the fuck?
We don't even know his daughter's taking black dick.
And we gotta stop that, yo. We gotta stop.
Man,
We gotta. Nah,
we
I'm
really
saying we gotta
do.
stop trying to like let white women, slide on that sexualization shit of the black dick and shit like that, yo.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. It's a
Like,
lot of niggas that we got to hold accountable to that shit. Like,
we won't
cause
do
like
that
on some,
here, checking on the afterthoughts. But that's good that like
yeah.
you said something about that. I've been wanting to say something about that shit because it's crazy. Like,
Just because you're in an interracial relationship with somebody of a different race for real doesn't mean you're not. You can still be racist. Trust me. You can still be racist just because you're in an interracial relationship. This applies across the board. All colors
across the
are
board.
going.
But yeah, let me ask you this again to get back on some funny shit. We are smoking
Mhm.
this shit. So if you listen to this shit, I'm smoking this motherfucking OG sour. Tone, what you got?
I got a little bit of Girl Scout cookies with some what's this Skywalker OG?
Ooh, you smoking nice over that bitch.
Nigga, always. You feel me?
Of course, nothing less. If you listen to this on YouTube, don't forget to go ahead and drop down in the comment section below. Let us know what you smoking on. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. What were we talking about just now?
Shit.
Lightheartedness.
Yeah, lightheartedness.
And I totally forgot the topic I wanted to get into. Fuck. Oh yeah. What's the big debate? Do you think Master Chief is black or white?
That's the chief is black, my nigga.
Yo, every black person I talk to says black, and every white person I talk to says white. I'm like, I
Wanna
love
know
it,
how I
yo.
know he black?
I'm listening.
Because when they was doing the casting for Halo, when it
Uh-huh.
was just gonna be the movie back in like what I think 2006 or seven at that time and shit,
I think they came
they
out with that
wanted
movie.
then nah.
They
That was on
didn't.
Ford on the
Oh,
Dawn. That was
okay, okay,
like
okay.
around
Yeah,
10
yeah.
or
I know
some
what you're talking
shit.
about. You
But
talking about
like
the big movie that they were trying to do.
yeah, the big movie they was trying to do. Like they wanted Denzel Washington to
I
play
remember that. Hell yeah.
Master Chief.
They was also
That's
looking
how
at
I
Bruce
know.
Willis though.
But like, and they was gunning for this nigga Denzel. Like, come on, yo, like that's how I know this nigga Master Chief is black. And then his voice, you feel me? Like that sound like a cool, collected black man that's singing some shit, yo.
I be debating that shit with people. I don't know. I think he's black too. Like me
My
personally.
nigga. And then like his AI name is Cortana. I don't know no white bitch named Cortana with some weird name like that. You feel me? It's always carrying or some weird shit. You feel me?
Karen.
You feel me? With ghetto names and shit. Nah, come on, yo. Black people got that, yo. Cortana and
Oh yeah.
Chief, they both black.
Shaquana. Where's the
You
enemy?
feel me? You feel me? Cortana people's just named her something different just because like
Wanted to
Shaniqua
be
was too
unique.
basic. You
Yeah.
feel me?
But nah,
That's how I know it.
that's
And then a lot
hilarious.
of Halo Origins translates to a lot of African culture and shit like that. If niggas really want to go
Oh,
technical, you feel
okay.
me?
See,
So,
I gotta
you-
open the book on that one. I gotta see.
nigga,
I gotta
what?
see what's
To
going on with
understand
that.
what niggas is talking about when they talking about Onis and shit like that. You gotta
Okay,
look.
yeah. See, now, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. You right about that one. and halos and structures and all that other shit.
Mm-hmm,
I won't get into it, but yeah. Nah, I understand. Like, I understand what you're saying now for sure. I get that.
Yeah.
See, you
That's
took
what I'm
it to
like,
a whole
man.
nother level. That's why I fuck with you.
Because once motherfuckers actually can stop being biased when it comes to
But
certain
it
shit,
takes
for real,
place in space. He could be an
it
alien
takes
too,
place
though,
in
yo.
space. But the thing of it is, when you look at kind of like the social relevance of society and shit like
Uh,
that, you kind of see the reclaimers were basically the descendants of like are basically the first humans. When you look at the first humans on
right.
Earth for real, it's no undeniable truth that it was the black man. So then when they
Oh,
talk
see,
about the
now,
Celestials
now we
actually
getting
coming
into a
down and
whole
actually
nother
introducing
thing.
it to man and shit like that, yeah, it
Okay.
just throws theories like that for real. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I know. And then when all the AI machines and shit like that come to Chief, they don't talk to other humans and call them the reclaimers. They call Chief and other black people the reclaimers for some fucking reason. So
Use your
I'm like,
noggin.
shit. So that's how I know Chief
Spoiler
Black, my
alert.
nigga.
What if he's a
You
robot?
feel me?
What if he's just a robot?
A robot? Hey, yo, that's the dopest damn robot I ever seen, yo.
You know the crazy thing about with everything going on and all of the change that's probably going to inevitably have to happen and have to really happen to move forward. And the new Halo coming out around this time, this motherfucker might take that helmet off, see a big old black
You
fro.
feel me? You might see a black man.
Might be
under that
Colin
shit.
Kaepernick under that bitch. Niggas keep it
You
rolling.
heard me?
They go pull it off. Oh, Cap. Like, oh man, that should be legendary.
You know how many racists is going to throw
Niggas
away
gonna
that
spit they
copy?
Mountain Dew at they monitors.
What the fuck is this?
I'm never playing this again. How dare they? Chief.
16 years. 16 years I've been playing Halo.
Listen to me,
And
buddy.
this is the fucking thanks I get?
My daddy was a military veteran. You hear me? He fought in the military. I ain't never seen a black man risk his life for the world. Never. Like, well, if he was beside him, like, what was he not? What was he doing?
Yeah, I'm quite sure the nigga was risking his life, motherfucker.
Nah, bro. I don't want to
Quite
give
sure
niggas
the
no
nigga
type of
saved
credit. No types of credit. Then the story come out, oh, that's why he got his Medal of Honor and all this stuff and shit because he saved his ass. All types of shit, yo. Oh, man.
The whole time this nigga killed like 15 motherfucking Viet Cong by
Raped
with a
all types
giant-
of people. Niggas, some niggas
You
ain't
feel
heroes,
me?
man. Let's knock it off, man. Everybody ain't a hero. Some people take the check. I mean,
Oh man.
shouts out to the people that's really over there doing it and stuff like that.
Doing
But some
that
people
thing,
over
you
there for
feel
some
me?
weird shit, some fantasies,
Also,
some psycho
shouts
shit,
out to
all
the
types of
National
stuff.
Guard that's actually not, you feel me, with the over excessive, you feel me, that's out here like just on the protesters, because I seen some crazy shit.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But like, actually, shouts out to some of the National Guards that actually understand the cause and shit like
That's-
that too. You feel me? Because
fuck,
I know
sis.
shit can't be easy for
But listen,
even
yo.
a black officer or you feel me, or National
Yeah, 'cause
Guardsman
you're
to
a person.
actually go through this shit.
You're a
Mhm.
person. You're a person. You realize that. Don't forget that you're a person.
Yeah.
You just got
People
on a different set of
realize.
clothes. You just got a
Yeah,
different
my
set of
nigga.
clothes on. And
I mean,
that's
but hey, yo, at the end of the day, it's what we're looking at is just gang on civilian warfare, and the gang is the police, basically.
we've been getting too political on their asses on these last couple episodes, but there's so much shit going
I mean,
on, bro.
but
It's
hey,
hard not
yo,
to speak
yeah, I
on
was
it. But
about
like,
to-
yeah,
was about
I
to
love
say,
that we're informing
if we
niggas.
do got listeners around
We
the
do-
world,
no,
and
we
shit
do got
like that,
listeners.
I'm
We do-
quite-
we do got listeners.
exactly. So I'm quite sure they know exactly what the hell we're
Yeah,
talking
and
about.
they
because
tuning in for this
they're
shit.
they're going through it too
Yeah,
right now.
it's
They're
everywhere.
protesting too. This
It's
shit is
everywhere.
worldwide.
It's everywhere. They can't ignore it this time. It's
You
everywhere.
can't deny it. You can't deny that shit.
It's
The
in your
over
face.
militarization of the police, yo, that institution, it's due for a change. The justice system is due for a change. You feel me?
Yeah, it has to be overthrown. It has to happen. It has to. It has to happen.
Not only that, with this dickhead in the White House, man, like that's some whole other shit.
That's gonna bring the whole cast down. So,
Yeah.
give me
let's
your
just talk about something else.
give me your top 3 games of 2019. We gonna wrap it up like that for y'all. We got a couple minutes left on this 40-minute podcast for you dudes and become
Yeah.
a hip hop
Top-
one.
Top 3 games in 2019.
2019. I can't even think of no games that came out 2019, but I know what you're gonna go with. But go ahead. Let me. Now I'll divide it for you. Give me a single player. So your top single player, your top shooter, and then your top fighter.
Top single player 2019. It would have to go to Sekiro.
Mm.
Shadows Die
I
Twice.
was gonna ask you about that. How was that?
I ain't gonna lie, that was fucking game of the year, in
For
my
real?
opinion.
I think I
I,
was gonna grab it from Aaron. He said he said he wasn't a fan. Well, we have to have Aaron on the podcast because we talk about this thing a lot. Aaron gonna be on the podcast when we work out our audio issues. Audience, y'all gonna fuck with Aaron. But yeah,
Mhm.
Tone, like he was saying he was saying you like it though.
For me, I liked it because it was something. It was a lot different from like the original shit to like Dark Souls and shit like that. For one,
Oh,
but
it
not
has that
only
feel
just
to it.
that, it has that feel to it when it comes to the combat, actually learning the enemies and shit like that.
So you gotta really
But not
fight niggas
only
on there.
that, yeah, but not only that, it's touching on like a lot of my errors when it comes to like Japan, like a lot of my favorite errors when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to feudal Japan and shit.
Mm.
And I believe this one focused on like the Son Goku era and shit like that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So like it was a lot of mythos that goes into that shit. So it was kind of cool actually like playing
Okay,
that
so
shit
you
and
was really
actually
paying
seeing a
attention to
lot
the
of hints.
story, and you know a lot of into
Yeah.
that shit. So yeah, I can see that.
The
I
the
thought you were gonna give it to
combat
Red Dead.
um
That's good. Damn, I really want to check that game out now.
yeah,
It's worth it.
I highly recommend it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was thinking about going.
But
I was thinking about
it
grabbing
gets
Dead Rising for
harder
some
as
reason.
you advance, though. So it's a game you have to be persistent on. I definitely say that.
Oh, is it like is it punishing like
Yeah, it will punish the fuck out
Okay,
of you if you
then
don't pay attention to shit.
okay. So what's your
Yeah,
top shooter? Who you giving the shooter to? I kind of figured. I know
top
where you going.
shooter. Of course, it's got to be motherfucking Modern Warfare. Yo, like
Shouts out to
that
Call of
shit.
Duty, bro. They fucking kicked ass this year, yo. Like they did their
Yeah,
motherfucking thing,
yeah.
yo. It's a great game. I love
Solid
Call of Duty this year.
story. It was a solid, just remaking of just what Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare was, with a solid story, rehashing everything and shit like that.
Hell
I,
yeah.
I appreciate the fuck out of Call of Duty. Not only that, it got a lot of broke boys on Call of Duty this year with the motherfucking Warzone and shit like that. You feel me?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
And they launched a whole new kind of Call of Duty style, the birth of the
hmm
Warzone shit that we probably gonna be seeing sticking around for a whole lot of years.
so if a lot of niggas get killed by a nigga named Yo Tone for real using the African nigga mace, just you know what it is. You feel me? But definitely Call of Duty. It's how they kept up with the updates when it comes to weapons and shit like that. A lot of metas, a lot of nerfs, a lot of shit like that. They've been persistent on that. Combat, in my opinion, it's solid for what a Call of Duty game is. You feel me?
Hmm.
So like that, I fucks with the story mode. The story mode was impeccable in my opinion, and yeah, that was my favorite shooter.
And last but not least, you know, a prominent member of the fighting game community. So this is a highly critical recommendation right here. What you going with, Tone? Where we landing at?
Fighting game of
Who we
2019.
rolling with?
Shit.
I see you
This is
floating
kind
around
of
a lot of
hard.
games too. Yeah, I knew this was gonna be the one.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I broke it into categories. I be
To
watching
be
your gamer
honest,
tag. I know you be floating around a couple joints.
I'm gonna have to give it to Mortal Kombat 11.
Okay, that's what you went
I'm
with.
gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. Just because how they introduce aftermath up to like for now, you feel me, coming up into 2020 for real, and it was just like that was it got me back on my Mortal Kombat shit. So I
Okay, so it kept you
definitely
there.
appreciate it.
Okay,
Yeah, it kept me going for real. So like definitely that. Definitely Mortal Kombat 11.
so those are Tone's.
Story solid and combat was solid in my opinion, everything.
Give it a check out. It's got Tone stamp. I want to buy that shit for my girl. She's a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
You should get it. I ain't gonna lie, yo. Some of the best sex I ever had was with freaky gamer girls playing Mortal Kombat, yo. No
Trust me,
bullshit.
I've
So for
definitely been
all
there.
you, yeah. So for all you niggas out there, that's boring for real,
Listen,
trying to
yo.
figure out what you could do with a chick for real,
Listen,
yo.
bro. Give him the game, homie. Give him the game.
You feel me? Get that extra controller,
There
spend
you
that extra
go.
20 and get
Get
a,
you a
a
nice
nice
bottle of
controller.
Jack. You know what I mean? Some weed, whatever
Mm-hmm.
you gonna do. You never play strip Mortal Kombat? Okay.
Nigga, what?
Gotta show him.
Finisher.
This is scheduled for you hating ass niggas. I know we got some haters out there that's paying attention too, so we gonna up it on you niggas. Me and Tone decided to switch up things a little bit, so I want to make you listeners privy to how we gonna be rolling from here on out. Mondays and Tuesdays, we're gonna drop a hip hop episode on your DSPs, that is Spotify, Apple. You can get that there. Uploads will be at 5 a.m. and then a day later, stagnated on YouTube. I'm thinking about a 12 p.m. or 2 o'clock release, depending on how I feel. But I'll keep you guys posted on that. Wednesday is gonna be the gaming show. And then Tuesday, it'll be followed up on YouTube with the same formula from before. So that is Wednesday, 5 a.m. You're going to be available on Apple and Spotify. And then Friday is going to be our afterthought segments. We're going to drop all our knowledge, all the gems, all the hilarious comedy, all that shit going to be there on the afterthoughts. So you got 3 different categories to fuck with niggas in. If you want to just tune in for hip-hop, we got that. If you want gaming, we got that. If you just want to see 2 crazy motherfuckers ramble about a bunch of bullshit, we got that.
And some visuals, not actual visuals of us, but gameplay visuals coming to the YouTube very soon.
Okay,
So
okay.
niggas,
We
keep
rolling,
an lookout.
baby. We rolling. Keep your eyes open. 2 Ninja Kickback, man. We kicking back.
Bitches.